session, or these couple of sessions in October, is all about home renovation mistakes. Honestly, guys, every time I talk about renovating and the fact that I have a whole bunch of students renovating and that I renovate myself, people always jump to the negative. And I don't like to talk about the negative a lot because I just think it keeps us stuck in fear and doesn't really serve us. But I will explore it for the next couple of weeks. Let's cover the negatives and what people do that are mistakes, which stop them from proceeding with another renovation and another renovation, or maybe prevents them from getting the outcome that they desire, which in my mind is a beautiful property done on time and on budget with a nice chunk of profit margin in there, whether you want to just increase the equity in your own home or whether you want to use that profit margin to go and do something else with it, say flip the property. All right, so home reno mistakes. Part 1 stems from the property itself, buying the wrong property, buying a dud, assuming that every ugly property out there, just because you're going to add a lick of paint and put all of your beautiful thoughts from Instagram into that property, assuming that it's going to end up coming out in a position of profit, that you're going to enjoy the process and that you're going to have a smooth run. So number 1, the property itself. And let's talk about that just really quickly. It must be a really good property. You can't pay too much for that property. Otherwise, you're doomed from the start. Here's me not liking talking about the negatives, and I've used the word doomed. You are doomed from the start if you buy a dud property. That's it in a nutshell. So just because it's ugly and you can see yourself doing something wonderful with that property might not be the property to buy. Do your research. It comes down to the numbers. It also comes down to what area, location that property is in. Also do the numbers and look around you and get on the ground and explore and find out all the reasons why properties in that area are selling or not selling and what people are doing to those properties. Do your market research. So it's all about the property. Don't buy the wrong property in the first place. Otherwise, you're going to be trying to get yourself out of a bind. And no one wants to put energy into a renovation or use a renovation strategy, only to have an outcome land in your lap where you're not so happy and you think, oh, I won't do that again. And that is precisely why a lot of people say, I've only renovated once and I won't do it again. It's because they didn't get all of the components lined up together and they didn't get all of the components lined up right. And so that they didn't get the results that they wanted. And therefore they think it's just a waste of time. Paying too much for the property is a terrible thing to do. Buying the wrong property, also a terrible thing to do. Buying a property with a very, very difficult layout is a bad thing to do unless that layout is easy to change and it's in your budget to change that layout and you have to allow for that. So that's it in a nutshell, really. Let's start with the property. Next week, we'll explore the renovation itself. It's also important to get all the components of that lined up. Honestly, guys, you know I love renovating and I hate talking about the negative because the truth is in this market and all of the markets that I've observed over the last 30 years, renovation is the most accessible to the average Joe way of adding value to property, of climbing the property ladder, of getting wealthy, of quitting day jobs and doing it full time, having an income replacement strategy. All of those things occur with renovation done right. So let's get it right, guys. Let's not make mistakes. Let's have fun with it and let renovating be everything you want it to be. Cheers, guys. I'll see you next week on a Tuesday. Thank you for watching live. Hi, Fabiana. If you haven't already registered for my next upcoming training, you can always contact us at support@rareteam.com.au, support@rareteam.com.au, and say, hi, Belinda, what's the next free training you have available? And then we'll send you the link to come join us on our next free training where you'll also learn a lot. Cheers, guys. Have a beautiful day. Bye.